I am one of those extreme rarity of the survivors of the Holocaust, that my parents and my siblings, all 5 of us, survived. My name is Leslie Meisels, and my book's title is Suddenly the Shadow Fell. I was born in a small town about 200 kilometers east of Budapest in so-called Central Hungary. I happen to be a 7th generation to be born in that town, and we were patriotic Hungarians with a Jewish religion.
That patriotism would eventually be betrayed. In 1938, the Hungarian government began introducing a series of anti-Semitic laws that made life very difficult for its Jewish population. And when the Nazis finally invaded in 1944, almost all hopes for survival were lost. Jewish families were forced from their homes to live in ghettos and then deported to concentration camps. Leslie and his family were among those loaded onto trains bound for almost certain death.
On December 4, 1944, we arrived to a rail yard in northwestern Germany, ordered to get out and walk 5 kilometers when we encountered an entity what we never had seen a picture, never heard of, barbed wire enclosure with watchtowers where SS guards were standing, turned out to be the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp.
For more than half of the people in prison there, Bergen-Belsen meant beatings, disease, and death. But for Leslie Meisels and his family, it was here that a most unlikely miracle occurred. The Nazis separated out the group Leslie arrived with. This group would be saved by a man they had never met.
When we arrived to Bergen-Belsen, a Hungarian Jewish journalist lawyer, Rudolf Kastner, who was working for the Jewish organization in Budapest, arranged that the Nazis, for money and medicine, allowed and agreed to exchange 2 groups through Switzerland.
Leslie and his family were among those Jews selected to be exchanged. The arrangements would take time, however, and they would first have to survive their stay at the camp.
The Bergen-Belsen concentration camp did not have gas chambers, but it distinguished itself to become one of the cruelest among the concentration camps. It achieved its goal of annihilating those who were brought within its gates by 3 things: starvation, beatings, and illness.
Leslie and his family would never actually see freedom in Switzerland. A few months after they arrived, their captors, sensing imminent defeat at the hands of the advancing Allied army, began to retreat, taking their prisoners with them. Leslie was once again loaded onto a train, unaware of the fate that lay ahead.
On the 5th day of our journey, April 12, 1945, we were about 15 kilometers from Magdeburg, a city on the Elbe River. The train stopped on a curve near the bridge over the river and didn't move. That night, a fierce air battle developed around and above the train. Guns were blazing, bombs were falling, and explosions were shaking the wagons, but none of them fell on us. In the morning, the first thing we noticed was that there were no SS guards. They had fled during the night, leaving us to our fate. Sometimes around midday, I had made a fire from some twigs, and I was starting to cook some of the remaining red beets when suddenly a huge cry went up. When I looked over the top of that little embankment, I saw some dirty, sweating American soldiers, the most beautiful human beings imaginable, appear with their guns ready. Instead of the enemy, they found us and heard our cries. "Oh God, we are free. We are going to be human beings again." Those soldiers from the 9th United States American Army not only liberated us, they gave us back our life. I am being asked almost every time when I'm speaking to students or other audiences, what kept you going? And my answer is that simple little 4-letter word, hope. Those who gave up hope perished. That was the secret of staying alive. Somehow struggle through those horrors today and then wake up alive tomorrow.